Live in Warsaw, home of the Wildcats and home of this non-conference matchup between the Eldon Mustangs and Warsaw Wildcats. I'm Colton Taylor, and on the camera and on the call with me tonight, Britt's back at it again. Britt, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's good to be back. We kind of had a slow week this week, so I'm excited to be back on some basketball.
It felt really weird, only doing one game. only doing one game a night seems slow.
Welcome tonight's presentation of KS-95.
Absolutely, and nothing this weekend either, so...
It's getting close to Christmas. You know, we got to slow down a smidge, but we've got a good one tonight. The Eldon Mustangs come in with what I would call a deceptive record at 2-4. It's worth noting 2-4. Many of those games have been, single-score games. It really came down to the wire and was decided by free throws at the end and such. They've been in the majority of the games they've been in. And on the flip side of that, Warsaw 5-3. Not taking anything away from the Wildcats. Very impressive start to the season. But looking at that start to the season, by the way, this game's streaming at MoSportsZone.com if you would like to watch. Looking at how Warsaw got to that 5-3 record, they knocked off a 2-9 Sweet Springs team by about 30 to start the season. They then lost to Lincoln. Lincoln's is 6-1 on the year, mind you, but they lost to them by about 11. Followed that up by defeating Windsor 55-40. Windsor 0-6 on the season. They defeated a 3-6 Leeton team by 6 points before losing to Osceola. Osceola, though, 7-1 on the season, defeated Warsaw by 3. They defeated a 1-6 Stover team by about a 20-point margin, but then lost to the California Pintos by just 1 point, 46-47, and then knocked off Colcamp the other night by a little over 20. So it's really hard to gauge this Warsaw team based off that.
It is. They've had some different looks of matchups. We've seen California boys play. They're a little high caliber team. But then again, you have those low caliber teams that are kind of all over the board. It doesn't give you a good judgment of what caliber Warsaw per se is going to come out on the floor with.
Last year when we saw these two teams meet up, it was in the old Eldon gym, the middle school gym. It was the throwback game, and it was a fun one. But we'll talk more about that when we come back. This is the Winter Shelton Real Estate pregame show, all a part of our Martin Metal broadcast. We'll come back with more talk of the teams, and we'll catch up with Coach Caudell. You're listening to KS-95 Sports.
Since 1882, the Bank of Versailles has been locally owned and operated. Lending decisions are made right here in our community by people who understand real estate in the area. The Bank of Versailles is your local home and farm loan specialist, offering knowledgeable staff and competitive fixed rates that are hard to beat. The Bank of Versailles, building relationships with the people in our local community for 142 years. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Jason Blankenship, owner of Jason Blankenship CPA LLC. As the year quickly draws to a close, it's time to start thinking about tax planning strategies for your farm and business. We are happy to meet with you and help you see where things stand for the year. We can also give you advice on ways to spend money to help you grow your business, all while maximizing your tax savings. No matter what your tax, payroll, or accounting needs are, Jason Blankenship CPA LLC has got you covered. Celebrating 10 years of service to the Central Missouri area and looking forward to many more. Give us a call at 573-557-2417 or stop by and see us at 401 East North Street in Eldon.
Aye, Captain! The seas of the Ozarks are too rough! Me and the crew can't secure the screens and railings! She'll never be installed right! She ain't sturdy, Captain! Rest assured, you'll see calmer seas this winter. And have American Sun Control secure powder-coated railings and screens for shade, too. While the lake is calm this winter, let American Sun Control install your dock and deck screens and railings. Come in, call, and look them up online and Facebook. American Sun Control.
Back at Warsaw High School, getting ready for this matchup between the Mustangs and the Wildcats here in the Winter Shelton Real Estate pregame show. While we were getting ready for things, we got a chance to catch up with the head coach of the Eldon Mustangs, Nathaniel Caudell, and ask Coach Caudell, how's the squad look going into tonight's contest?
Yeah, we were coming off of a week stretch, right? We didn't play until last Friday, and so had a week of practice here. We had some tough things that happened this week, but really proud of the way that our guys have really rallied together, and we've been getting better every day, and so I can't ask for any more than that.
You guys kind of had a fast start to the season in regards of start off with a really talented athletic Mountain Grove team. You wind up 3 games in just a span of 5 days up at the Tipton tournament, and now against a very athletic Warsaw team. How difficult is it when you're playing that fast-paced teams that early in the season?
It's tough, right? I mean, defensively, you got to be locked in, knowing exactly what they're wanting to try to get into, knowing their strengths, and so it takes a lot of discipline, it takes a lot of focus and practice to really understand that. For the most part, I feel like our guys have done a fairly decent job so far this year, but tonight's going to be another good test for us.
Now, when we saw this matchup last year, you guys were in the old gym. I believe it was a throwback game. It was a fun game, but you guys got the edge last season. What do you know about Warsaw this year?
Well, they're bringing everybody back from last year, right? And I remember that game thinking, hey, they're a lot better than where they've been, and I've got coach is doing a great job with them. This is his second year having all those guys in his system, and so they look. I mean, you look at the start that they've had. I'm not surprised. They got a really talented player, number 24, that he can shoot the ball. He does it all, right? And so whenever you got a player like that, you can be pretty good. And they got a lot of other guys that just play really well in their roles. And so it's going to be a really good test for us. We're going to have to be ready for it, but we're excited for the challenge.
Now, one thing early this season that we've noticed is obviously the emergence of Britton Ahart as a scorer and a leader for this team, but it does seem like at times if Britton can't score the rock, it's been a little tough to get other guys going offensively. What can you do to get other guys involved offensively early in this game?
Well, it's last week Cody Tam had a pretty good week finally. He scored at Sullivan. I think he had 22 or 24 points, and so to see him kind of emerge with that was really good. We had the Buffalo game earlier last week. Devin Hardy had 17. We just got to start putting it all together, right? Where that all guys are contributing at once at the same time in the same game, and it's gonna, again, that's gonna come with more consistency as far as how that we practice and getting that time back, and then just confidence, just seeing our guys grow in their confidence, which we've seen some really good things from a lot of kids, not just one or two, but all of them I feel like are continuing to grow, which has been made this start of the year really fun.
So once again up against a good Warsaw team that started the year red hot, what's going to be the difference maker for your squad that decides if you get the win or not? Defensive
rebounding is going to be big. That can be sometimes an Achilles heel for us, and it's one of their strengths. And so limiting their shots will be big for us. And then for us, getting out in transition and limiting our turnovers, right? Taking those turnovers. I love that we want to push the ball, but we got to start finding ways of taking out some of those turnovers and start getting some buckets out of it instead of the turnovers right back to them. And so we do those two things, and I think that we're going to compete really well.
That was head coach Nathaniel Caudell of these Eldon Mustangs getting his squad ready. Real quick, it's a tough subject to say, but we're going to do it anyways. Thoughts and prayers go out to young Mr. Preston Sapp. Preston's season came to a close much earlier, than it should. Just a terrible thing in practice the other day. Came down wrong or something, a misstep, whatever it was, and fractured his leg, as I understand it, pretty badly. And they said the team went up and saw him in the hospital and all that, and was there and laughing with him and whatnot. But you never ever want to see any athlete's season in before they should. And so once again, just thoughts and prayers out to Preston Sapp, and we're wishing for a speedy recovery. Really loved seeing him out on the floor. He was making strides as the season had began, and just thinking and praying about that young man. We're getting ready to meet our starting lineups here tonight in this matchup between the Warsaw Wildcats and the Eldon Mustangs. And starting for the Eldon Mustangs, it'll be the usual suspects. Number 1, Talon Hull, the 5'10 junior. Number 2, Devin Hardy, 5'9 and a senior. Number 3, Britton Ahart, 6'4 and a junior. Number 15, Drew Hines, just a sophomore. He's listed at 5'9. That math doesn't math. Oh, I'm sorry, Kyle Hines, not Drew Hines. I got the wrong Hines. Kyle Hines is 6'1. That makes a lot more sense now that I say that out loud. And rounding out the starting lineup, of course, number 24, Cody Tam, 6'2 and a junior. Starting for the Warsaw Wildcats, Shane Poyser. He is a senior. Number 3, Garrett Ferguson. No, he is a senior as well. Number 10, Luke Henderson, just a junior. Number 24, Logan James. He is a senior. And number 20 or 32, Noah Siebert, a junior. The Wildcats are under head coach Brownsberger, and of course the Mustangs under head coach Nathaniel Caudell. Britt, these are two teams that want to get out and run. Warsaw going to shoot more threes, but I feel like that fast pace is something Eldon can handle.
Absolutely. We kind of saw that with that California game. California always comes out fast, and I think Eldon did a pretty good job keeping up with them. So we'll see what these about a week of practice has done between then.
Moving to the Carpenter Gunther Lumber Company first quarter, the opening tip. It was controlled by Ahart, but tipped over to the Wildcats. Warsaw in the home whites. Eldon in the road black with the red trim. Warsaw going to get the first look at this one. Straight man defense as usual for the Mustangs. Warsaw trying to spread out a good job jumping the pass by Hines. Tips it out of bounds, tried to run it down. Couldn't get the steal, but still great defense.
Absolutely. You would like to see it starting out strong there from the beginning. Sorry, my mic was below my chin.
No, you're all good. Hustle is something you don't normally have to ask these Mustangs for. They go 100 miles an hour all the time. Warsaw going to work it around the wing. Ahart applying the pressure. Now Tam will step up defensively. Cody started to get the offense going a little bit lately. You never have to ask him for rebounding, but it's been good to see him get a few shots to go down. Hopefully he can continue that tonight. Warsaw being very patient. They've spent the first 30 seconds of this game on offense. And this is the Carpenter Gunther Lumber Company first quarter of action. It's streaming live MoSportsZone.com or on the new MoSportsZone app. In the corner, Warsaw, it's just pass and cut. A lane to the basket drive, taking contact. And they'll say it was on the shot. I think they're going to get Tam for a little elbow there. And that will send Shane Poyser, the senior, to the free throw line.
They were very patient, I will say.
Yeah.
Looking for a hole kind of to open up in that defense, and they found one and then got double teamed, which drew that foul, which is smart play.
First free throws up and good. So the first points of the game go to the Wildcats. I'm a little surprised. The Warsaw team we saw last year, it was fly down, first open look, launch that three and let it go. And instead, they just spent 51 seconds on offense before getting to the free throw line. Second free throw rattles around, won't fall. Ahart the board. Eldon going to get their first look offensively. Hole drives, loses the dribble, picks it up, and finds Hardy on the left wing. It's straight man defense being played by the Wildcats as well. I do think Ahart's got a mismatch down there as he's battling it out with the big man Noah Siebert, a junior. Siebert looks like he's maybe 6'1". I think Ahart can take him. Ahart gives it to Hardy. Hardy steps into a nice free throw line jumper, tried to bank it in. Shot wouldn't go. Board controlled by Poyser. Off to the races. Poyser decides against it, pulls it out, and sets the offense back up. Garrett Ferguson runs the point. Devin Hardy matched up with him. They go high post, looking for the back cut. It's taken away. Tam there defensively. It's a solid game plan. Kicked out to three. Three falls up and good. First field goal goes to Garrett Ferguson. 4-0 the Wildcat lead with 6:15 to play in the Carpenter Gunther Lumber Company first quarter of action. Oh, Tam, nice move. Spins off the pressure. Shot won't go, though. Board kept alive. Finally controlled by the Wildcats. Off to the races. Extra pass underneath. Shot up and good again. Now we're seeing Warsaw want to run, and it's an early 6-0 lead.
Absolutely. And we've seen a couple good shots from Eldon, and they're just not falling right now.
They're trying to go high post with Hines. Now Ahart, head and shoulder fake, gets inside, jump stop, contested mid-range jumper, nearly went, rattles off the iron. Hines fights for it, but it's hauled in by Siebert. Warsaw trying to extend their lead, already up 6-0 with 5:30 to play. You don't get the vibe that Warsaw's necessarily better than Eldon straight up right now. Eldon just doesn't look comfortable yet.
I would agree with that. I don't think they've totally settled into the...
Siebert, a big man three from the top of the key, goes off the left iron and out of bounds. We see this with Eldon often, though, that sometimes there's a little feeling out process the first few minutes of the game.
It's kind of like first game jitters, Yeah. Like you're starting the season off at the beginning of a game, and you just got to shake those jitters off and play your game.
Oh, they're going for the lob. Backdoor. Ahart there. We've seen the Mustangs run that play many a times, and Britton executes it to perfection. Mustangs are on the board, cut the lead to 6-2.
I think that play could be very...
That touch foul hurts as that's going to go on Tam as Warsaw look to drive baseline with Logan James, and I think that's going to be a second hand check. 2 quick fouls for Cody.
That lob pass, I think that'll be very helpful in tonight's game because, Britton doesn't have a tough matchup down there in the paint. I think he could really use that to his advantage.
Oh, he hit him with size on the take. Warsaw blocked by Ahart soared for it. Hardy ahead to hole on the run out. He's pressured. It's swiped away. Goes off the play or the leg, of a Wildcat out of bounds. Possession will stay with the Mustangs. By the way, Mason Deerking had to check in for Cody Tam. Once again, Cody, 2 early fouls in the first 3 minutes of this game. On the inbounds, Ahart on the block, makes some space, turns around, forces the shot up and in. Britton Ahart imposing his will early. I kind of like that. Eldon found themselves in a 6-0 hole and went straight to the, all right, we think Britton, that's a double dribble. Okay, that's new. The player dribbled it, picked it up, and just dribbled again.
You'll have those sometimes.
Going to the block against Hardy, just playing straight up defense. Shot won't go, and fighting for the board, I think a shove going to be called on Eldon.
Call on Kyle.
Yeah, I guess. They got Kyle Hines with the foul, and Coach Caudell asking the official, what did he do?
Well, I'm a little confused because he's the one who ended up on the ground.
Warsaw thought about the mid-range, ran off the line instead of 3, top of the key, up and good.
They have a pretty solid 3 game that we've seen so far this first quarter.
That was James, and now a steal by James as well. Pushes it to the right wing. Hardy out on him. He goes to the short corner. Good closeout by Ahart. Back to James on the wing. He'll reset the offense with Poiser. No, he calls off Poiser and resets at the logo. James now being guarded by Hull. Down screens to set up the wing. Warsaw very patient. They're sending back cuts and down screens to set up threes. And it was a great cut, but the problem is Warsaw tried to pass it to Coach Caudell, and it turns out he does not play for them.
That's just sucks to be them on that part, I guess. I think Coach Caudell would be a great addition to a team.
Deer King at the high post. Over to Talon Hole. Uses the Deer King screen to Hardy. To Hines in the corner. Ahart, he'll try the contested 3. Give it to him. Welcome to the Britton Ahart Show. 7 early points. And we've only played about 4.5 minutes of the first quarter.
He's definitely showed up tonight, which would be very good for Eldon.
The Wildcats lead Britton 9-7. An attack, dished out to the corner. Good closeout, steps into the mid-range, works right wing. That's another travel. This one does get called. A great job. A reach from behind by Talon Hole. Threw off the balance of the Wildcat, and he had to take another step, and he was out of them already.
Yeah, though, I've played basketball before. Those 3 steps, they go rather quick.
They do. They do. Especially when you got short legs.
Okay.
Talon Hole bring the ball before under 3 minutes go. The Mustangs could tie or take the lead with any made field goal here. Oh, a miscommunication as Rhett Bayshore checked in, was looking for the lob back door to Ahart, and Ahart didn't think he was supposed to be going back door. It was just a zig when you're supposed to zag. 2:30 to play. Carpenter Gunther Lumber Company first quarter. A little weave action, gets inside, couple shot fakes, another shot fake. Shot comes up short, offensive board kept alive, just taken away by Rhett. Rhett wants to run on the left side of the floor. Jump stop, middle of the lane. His shot is blocked and recovered by Warsaw. Good defense. They pass ahead. A little cherry picking going on. And a layup up and good for Luke Henderson.
This game is quickly speeding up with the pace.
Ball tipped out of bounds. Oh, no, excuse me. A blocking foul I don't know if blocking foul is the right term there. Shove going to be called on Garrett Ferguson. No, you're not wrong. This game, the first possession from Warsaw took 51 seconds. We haven't seen a possession since take 10 seconds.
Yeah.
11-7, Warsaw leads Eldon. Here in this first quarter of action, Ahart on the left wing gives it back to Talon at the top of the key. Hardy just diving through the lane, clearing space. Over to Deer King. Finds Rhett Bayshore. Bayshore gets inside. About the free throw line, gives it up to Hardy. He's got a little space. Over to Talon on the right wing. Talon nearly does the splits, keeps his footing, though. I think he found a slick spot on the floor. Now Rhett drives inside. Pass fake to make some space for Hardy. Hardy gets it, creates more space. Goes over, and the 3 is long, Offensive board by Talon won't go, but the putback up and in. You'll never guess who. It's Britton Ahart. So Britton Ahart has 9 of 9 Mustang points here in the first quarter with 1:34 to play. The Wildcats are outscoring Britton 11-9 in this game.
And, Britton's keeping up with them.
Britton is absolutely holding his own. Oh, a little 2-2-1 press here from Eldon. Warsaw, a little bit of trouble, does get it into the front court finally. Lane to the basket. Ahart's there to block the shot, and oh. Looks like a clean block by Ahart, but the official calls body. And I love what Coach Caudell just did there. Some of the kids on the bench didn't like the call either, and he immediately looked at his bench and said, no, you know the rule, we don't react. I like that.
That's great coaching.
It's easy to get a little boisterous as the first free throw is short, and let's call it what it is. No officiating crew wants to be criticized by the bench or the crowd or anybody, and you want to keep the refs on your side, you probably shouldn't be yelling too much.
Absolutely, especially since we're still in the first quarter.
First free throw, like I said, is short, so the lead stays 11-9 with 1:23 to play. This Carpenter-Gunther Lumber Company first quarter of action. Second free throw, it's short as well, but the offensive board kept alive, but then taken away by Bayshore.
That's two tonight.
Red just plays good defense. Hardy drives baseline, dishes it out to Talon. Talon tries to drive it, stripped, picked up by Ahart. Britton gives it to Hardy. Saying work it around. It goes to Talon on the right wing. Britton takes his man low. Talon on the drive. Long strides through the contact. The shot went, but they're going to wave it off and say the foul was on the floor. Even though the shot didn't go, I like the take by Talon. He used his body to create space. Still finished with a soft touch off the glass, but nonetheless, Mustangs limb down under their own basket. Ahart, the trigger man, a little trouble getting it in, finds Hardy. Skips it to Hull on the weak side, hangs in the air, shot won't go, but they'll say he was fouled and they'll shoot two. Good court vision to find Talon, who was floating in space on that right block. So with 59 seconds to play, Talon a chance to tie it up with two made free throws here. As Britt's struggling over there.
I've been fighting this upper respiratory stuff.
I think most of the world is right now.
Yeah.
First free throw for Talon up and good, so he draws the Mustangs back within one. Second free throw rattles and comes off the iron. Under a minute to play. Warsaw with a 1-point lead and the ball here in the Carpenter-Gunther Lumber Company first quarter action. Good take. Ahart there defensively. Shot won't go. Mustangs want to run. Any field goal here gives Eldon the lead. Bayshore picks it up. Finds Ahart. He's got a lane. Dishes it to Hardy. Corner three for the lead. Got it!
That did a little, I don't know what you call that.
It rattled, popped up in the air, dropped back through, and the Mustangs lead by 2. Putting that 2-2-1 press back on. Full court heave. Ahart nearly had the steal. It's kept alive by Warsaw to the block, hanging in the air. They're going to call a foul on Talon Hull, and that will send Logan Jeems to the free throw line.
Something that I kind of want to see from Eldon is usually they have quite a few scorers, and tonight we've only saw 2, and one is mostly Britton. I guess Devin. Okay, we saw 3, but most of it's Devin. Or not Devin, Britton. They all come together.
The cough is causing you to struggle, Britt.
I know. It's all that cold medicine, you know?
I believe that. First free throw up and good. Second one on the way for the tie. With 25.8 to go in the Carpenter-Gunther Lumber Company first quarter of action. It is good. So we are knotted up 13 apiece. Warsaw jumped out to the early 6-0 lead. The Mustangs have responded well, though.
They really have, and there's been quite a few pace changes throughout the game. You know,
Yeah.
Warsaw came out, and they took, 50 seconds off the clock, and now it's kind of been, who can check the ball the farthest on the court the fastest.
That's an accurate representation of this first quarter. With 10 seconds to go, Ahart will reset at the top of the key. Hines came up to set the screen. Problem is Ahart had already used his dribble. Gives it to Hines. Over to Hardy with 5 seconds. Hardy gets inside. Mustangs need to get a shot up. They were looking for the back cut, but it's picked off by Warsaw, and a full court heave will come up short. We played 1, and we're knotted up at 13 here in Warsaw. You're listening to KS-95 Sports.
Since 1944, Carpenter-Gunther Lumber Company, Morgan County's only locally owned lumber yard, has been providing the area with quality building materials needed for its building, remodeling, and repair projects. Because customer care is Carpenter-Gunther's #1 goal, your project is always their priority. They take as much pride in your project as you do.
Reach them at 378-4433 Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4:30, and 8 to noon on Saturday. Carpenter Gunther, where they put the home in hometown business.
Have you ever gone into panic mode because you reach into your wallet and your debit card is not there? Hi, this is Ryan Pryor from Citizens Bank of Eldon and Versailles. With the Umbrella app on your mobile phone, you can block your debit card with a quick tap of a button. 5 minutes later, you remember that it's in your pocket. No problem. Just go back in and unblock your card, and now it's business as usual. Ask us how you can enroll. Member FDIC.
A hometown bank, a hometown friend.
Moving into the H&R block of Versailles, second quarter of action, tied at 13 apiece. Brett, I do wonder if fouls are going to be an issue as, and this isn't being critical of the officials, this is just calling it how it is. Every officiating group calls things differently. These ones are calling it a little more, we're going to get you for hand checks, you know, and I wonder if that foul count's going to continue to go up here in the first half.
You know, we saw Cody go to the bench with 2 early fouls, which is a big part because he's a big part of their rebounding.
Absolutely. One of the best rebounders on the squad. Inside to Ahart. Couple pass fakes. He's being double teamed on the block, and it's a steal by the Wildcats.
That was great pressure by the Wildcats.
Oh, they played it well without reaching. Working it around the outside. 3 dialed up from the left wing. Draws nothing. It's picked up by Hines. Eldon wants to run. Hardy gets his defender in the air, gets it across half court. Drive. They left Hardy a lane to the basket, and he made him pay with the left hand.
He is very slow, guys. Okay.
Quickly down the air, and that's a travel. Great job getting back by Hines as the Warsaw player went into the paint, tried to go to the spin move, and Hines had position and forced him to take that extra step.
For those of you watching, if you're wondering how fast they're going, it was fast enough for me not to be able to get the camera down the court in time for you to see that. My apologies.
That's fair. High post is Hull. Gives it to Hardy. Dishes it out. A Salzman in the game for the first time. The Mustangs lead for the first time. Ahart drives, and his pass picked off. He was looking for the cutter.
Warsaw is moving extremely fast onto the basket.
They like to go quick. There's no doubt about that. Driving from the left wing as we go under 7 minutes to play. Inside, a lot of contact, play on. Hines the board, pushes it ahead to Salzman. Players hitting the floor left and right. Ahart, wing 3, got hit! A foul away from the ball. This is going to go against Eldon. And specifically, it's going to go against Hines, and that's going to be his second. So Hines now going to have to go to the bench. This is where things start getting interesting for Eldon as Deer King will check back in. Between Cody Tam and Kyle Hines, those are 2 of your 6'1", 6'2" guys that crash the boards really well, and now they're both on the bench with 2 fouls. Wait, what?
That was
okay. That
very
can't
soft.
be. Well, it's not. My beef isn't that it's soft. My beef is the foul happened as the guy was going for the jump stop, and then he went up after the jump stop. There is no way that's a continuation in any world. That's okay. Either way, they're calling it a continuation, so it'll be an and one opportunity.
That'll also be 2 on Ahart, which is scary.
You can only go to the bench so deep as the free throw up and good, and we're down to a one-possession game again. 18-16, the Mustang lead in the H&R block of Versailles second quarter. Pull to Ahart at the top of the key. Salzman on the right corner. Use the dribble to make space, needs help. It comes the way of Devin Hardy. Hesitation, gets inside, dishes out to Ahart. He wants another 3. This one's long. Kept alive by Salzman, and you love the hustle. The problem is Salzman ran out of bounds and then had to jump back in bounds to get it. You cannot jump back in bounds to be the first person to touch the ball. So it's going to be a turnover back to the Wildcats.
Great hustle.
Cody Tam going to check back into the game. Cody's going to have to be smart here playing with 2 fouls.
Absolutely. And, you know, as another player, say you're Devin Hardy or Rhett and them, Deer King, your 2 bigs are not in foul trouble yet, but they're well on their way there.
It's foul trouble early in the second.
They're well on their way there. You wonder who's going to be the person to say in their mind, I'm going to step up and I'm going to take those boards.
Mid-range is short for the Wildcats. Board controlled by Hull. He'll bring it up the floor. Talon hesitates on the wing, gives it to Devin. He steps into a corner 3, and he knocks it down. Mustangs lead by 5, their biggest lead of the evening. It's 21-16 here in the H&R block of Versailles second quarter. Mustang defense has really ramped it up these last few minutes. Wildcats trying to work around the outside. They keep flashing high post, but Deer King does a good job of taking that away. Ball tipped out of bounds. That's going to be a turnover by the Wildcats. So Mustangs have found something that works. And despite the foul trouble, they're playing well right now.
Absolutely. They're not letting that sit in the back of their mind, slow them down. They're still going out and playing hard basketball, which ultimately will result on the scoreboard for them.
Eldon with the ball. It's a turnover. Run out. Hardy recovers to tip it. The ball goes out of bounds. It doesn't matter. Devin Hardy saved the layup.
Absolutely. That was flat out hustle and grit right there. He's very quick.
Devin is fast.
Yes.
Oh, on the inbounds. Got caught napping as it's inbounded to Logan James. He lays it up and in. 21-18 now the Eldon lead. Under 5 minutes to play. Hole crossover inside, has it stripped, gets it back, fires it out to Tam. Tam going for Deer King on the low block. He has to blindly save it back, does to Ahart, into Tam on the cut, who lays it up and in.
That was a great way to keep that ball moving and a great hustle by Deer King to go flying out of bounds to save that ball.
Deer King saving that, just got the Mustang 2 points. Good ball movement to the corner, don't want the three for the Wildcats. Close out on the wing by Hull. Warsaw, they screen away on the backside, getting into the lane. Great job by Deer King to just stay straight up, but the offensive board picked up, won't go. Another all-offensive rebound picked up. A skip pass, James on the right wing.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. One of the things that Coach stressed in the pregame was defensive rebounding, and the Mustangs just gave up 2 offensive boards there, so I know Coach Caudell not going to be thrilled. He is coaching defense hard on the sidelines, warning Deer King of the back cut, which he takes away. Wildcats work it over to the corner. James, he'll force the corner. 3 off the front iron. Great box out for Cody Tam, and an over-the-back foul going to be called on the Wildcats.
That was actually what I was getting ready to say, was that we hadn't seen much rebounding down there under the net, and that would definitely be something that's going to help you get back on the boards.
Coach Caudell preaches defense, and he preaches rebounding. You could hear him that whole defensive set nonstop yelling out to his squad, and he got hyped when Cody got that over-the-back call.
You love to see that from coaches, seeing coaches that believe in kids. It makes kids want to go out there and play 10 times harder than having a coach that say doesn't believe in you.
Under 4 minutes to play here in the second quarter of action. They try the lob to Ahart. He had the back post, sets his feet, spins off, fires it out to Hardy. He'll try another 3. Off the backboard, wouldn't go. Rebound, James. And that's a problem, as Britton's going to get called for his 3rd foul off the reach. I know Britton's saying I had ball, but that's one coach is going to be telling him, dude, I get it, but you can't even go for that in that situation.
That's a tough one. Oh.
I think that's a mishap. They accidentally put that foul on Talon Hole.
Okay, but in this situation.
And they'll correct that, I'm sure. That should be Ahart's 3rd. James inside, knocked off, but still finishes the layup.
That was a tough shot.
It was, and it draws the Wildcats back within 3. 23-20, the Mustangs lead. 3:17 to play in the H&R Block of Versailles second quarter. Red Bayshore, who's just checked in, works it over to Devin Hardy. Cody Tam. Back to Talon. Talon drives to the short corner. Jump step off the glass, shot too strong. Rebound Wildcats. Full court pressure by Holt. Dribbles picked up. Warsaw going to have to toss it ahead, and a timeout going to be called by the Warsaw bench. They want the full timeout. We'll take the break as well. 23-20. Eldon leads Wildcats. You're listening to KS-95 Sports.
The Morgan County Health Center in Versailles reminds you can help your child have a healthy future. Encourage them to get 1 hour or more of physical activity every day and limit screen time to 2 hours at most. Time spent in front of a screen watching TV or playing video games means less time being active. Make sure they get 3 servings of low or no-fat milk or yogurt every day, 4 servings of water, not sugary drinks, and 5 servings or more of fruit and vegetables. Healthy habits lead to a healthy future. A message from the Morgan County Health Center in Versailles.
Back here in the H&R Block of Versailles second quarter, 23-20. The Mustangs lead by 3. Foul trouble plaguing the Mustangs in this first half. Brett Nahart with 3. Cody Tam with 2. I feel like I'm missing somebody else with 2 also.
Kyle Hines has 2 as well.
Kyle Hines, thank you, yes.
And
looking down there, though, they are going to have Britton back out there because the Mustangs will have Actually, no, the Mustangs don't have the ball. Warsaw had the ball coming out of this timeout. So I wonder if part of it is they did tag Talon with that foul, not Britton. So if that's the case, Britton playing with 2, not 3. So, that's what it says on the scoreboard. So we're going to go with that. So if that's the case, then if he's just got 2, then I do believe that means Talon is the one that has 2 as well.
You got 4 players with 2 fouls in the first half. It could be a little scary.
You get to the fourth quarter, you don't care about that. But here in the second, you're a little leery. Mustangs staying with that 2-2-1 press, trying to get a trap on the sideline. It's tipped up by Warsaw. Jeans pulls it in. And to soar amongst the crowd, this Mustang pressure has caused some issues in the second quarter. 2:40 to play and a 3-point Eldon lead. The left wing, Hardy there defensively. Once again, straight man defense. Warsaw's just flashing through, trying to use screens to get an open cutter. Eldon communicating well. 3, top of the key from the Wildcats, up and good.
That is one of their hot spots, I feel.
They like that shot from the top of the key. We're tied up 23 apiece. Cody Tam, short corner jumper won't go. Dierking keeps it alive. Steps between the defenders, and he is fouled. They will say on the floor, though, but Mustangs retain possession.
Just checking my score over here.
Ahart to inbound. No, they're going to get Ahart out of the game. And back in for Eldon is Lincoln Salzman. He'll be the trigger man on the inbound. Tosses it into Cody, who gets it in the corner. Fires it out to Hardy. We close in on 2 minutes to play. Tie ball game at 23 apiece here in the H&R Block of Versailles second quarter. Tam on the right wing, over to Salzman. Lane to the basket, takes some contact, dishes it back out to Hardy.
I like that take from Salzman.
A gamble. Tam's got a lane, jumps between 2 defenders, off the glass and in.
And I like that one from Cody as well.
They gambled on a steal, thinking they could beat Tam to the ball. He proved them wrong and got a layup out of it. 25-23, the Mustangs lead. 1:40 to play in the quarter. Right wing, Hardy is there. Now in the corner. Nothing at the high post, working it around the outside. Wildcats try another 3, and they get it.
2 back-to-back for Garrett Ferguson.
Wildcats live and die by the 3, and at this moment, they're living. 26-25, they lead. Rhett, jump stop inside, takes the contact, sent him to the line. That was an aggressive move by Rhett Bayshore.
It really was, and it was done, I would say, flawlessly. His little jumps look kind of like a bunny out there.
I'm sure that's what Rhett was going for.
Oh, no, well, in his hair, like this hair just kind of bounces. It's just kind of flawless bouncing. I don't know what to call it.
Rhett Bayshore out here doing the bunny hop. First free throw, halfway down and back out. Cody going to head to the bench. Zach Hull will come in for him. Once again, Coach Caudell, I think, trying to play the foul game here and make sure that Cody and Britton and Hines don't pick up that third. Rhett's second free throw is up and good. We're knotted up at 26. 1:10 to play. If you're the Mustangs right now, I don't want to say you're trying to survive until halftime, but you're trying to make sure that, hey, you don't give Warsaw a chance to really blow this thing open with some of your starters on the bench. And a reach-in foul going to be called on the Mustangs. That'll be team foul 4, so will not result in free throws. And that foul is going to go against Zach Hull, who just checked in. You're not really hurt by that foul. Mustangs switch to a 2-3 zone on the inbound. Mid-range, left open, and rattles home.
I have a sense that the shots right now are all falling for Warsaw. And we've had a couple good looks down here for Eldon, and they're just not going in right now.
Dierking, short corner, thought about the jumper off the pass from Bayshore and said, we'll reset. If you're Eldon, hear me out, you almost consider running as much clock as you can. Your starters, your biggest scorers are on the bench. You're only down 2. Instead, Hull lane to the basket. Ooh, scoop shot off the glass. Almost went, but the board kept alive by the Wildcats.
Absolutely, when you're talking about that last shot, because we've seen that Warsaw can take a possession and score with it within 10 seconds on the board.
Instead, now Warsaw may be thinking about that same thing. Gonna reset. Garrett Ferguson, he's hit a pair of threes these last couple possessions. He's got the top of the key, whips to the right wing, now in the corner. As we close in, 10 seconds to play. Crossover, drive to the mid-range, nothing there. Spin given up to Ferguson. He'll launch another 3, top of the key. He got another. Ferguson is hot-handed, and the Mustangs get off a heap before the buzzer, and it draws backboard, but nothing more. So a late flurry by Warsaw opens up a 5-point lead, 31-26. Hy-Vee halftime show is coming up when we return. You're listening to KS-95 Sports.
A full-service graphics company, Wright Printing and Promotional Advertising does it all, from screen printing, offset printing, and promotional advertising to custom-built trophies and awards. It's where they do it the right way. Check out their Facebook page for their monthly special, and don't forget they offer online stores for all your group and activities needs. Wright Printing and Promotional Advertising, across from the Family Center on Highway 52 East in Versailles. Call 573-378-5775. The students of Lake Area schools have done a lot to make their communities proud. Many have stayed to help the Lake Area grow and prosper. Whether they excel through sports or through academics, our students need our support. As a parent, be a part of your child's education. As a community, be a part of their activities by attending sporting events, concerts, and other extracurricular activities. Our support means better leaders for tomorrow. From Kidwell Garber Funeral Homes of Versailles and Laurie.
Veracruz Mexican Restaurant invites you to join them for a casual lunch or a nice family dinner out with delicious, authentic Mexican cuisine. Veracruz has a great selection of burritos, tacos, seafood, enchiladas, salads, and more, all prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Grab dinner tonight from one of their 3 locations: Veracruz on South Highway 5 in Versailles, Veracruz Jr. on Highway 52 in Stover, or on Highway 65 in Lincoln. Veracruz Mexican Restaurant, a proud sponsor of local athletes.
Take your softball and baseball skills to the next level. The Shed is Eldon's own indoor hitting facility that features 2 full cages with screens, tees, and pitching lanes. You'll love their top-of-the-line pitching machine that throws a variety of speeds with precise locations to perfect your swing. The Shed also has a workout facility. You can add it to your cage rental or just purchase as a regular membership. Open Monday through Friday, 3:30 to 8, and Saturday and Sunday from noon to 8. Look for the big white building across from Gerb's in Eldon. Book times now on Facebook at The Shed LLC. See you at The Shed.
We're back with the Hy-Vee halftime show here on KS-95 Sports as Eldon found themselves down 6-0 to start this game, but managed to find their offense right after, battled right back, took the lead late in the first, held the lead for a lot of the second, but foul trouble put a lot of their leading scorers on the bench. They struggled to score the last several minutes of the second quarter while the Wildcats got hot from the three-point line. Next thing you know, 31-26 is the Wildcat lead. I mean, Britt, you don't feel like Eldon played bad in that first half. It's just fouls racked up, and your go-to scorers were sitting on the bench.
Absolutely. You know, we saw Britton get in some foul trouble. We thought he had racked up his third, but he, fortunately for Eldon, did not. We still have 2 on him going into this next half. Something that I worry about is Warsaw is hitting all of these threes, right? There's not been as many fouls as we've seen on Eldon on Warsaw, so they still got their main scorers like Garrett in them. But you see that since Eldon's getting these fouls and stuff, they're not scoring. They're not being as aggressive going down there, maybe because they're afraid they're going to draw a charge or something like that. But back on defense, they also have to be very disciplined to not get them what I call personally soft calls, which are those soft reaching fouls where, you know, you barely bump them, and that's just something that it gets irritating as a player when those keep getting called on you because you're trying to play hard defense and, you know, obviously keep them from scoring a basket. But you can't do that when you're getting those soft touches.
Part of it is, like I said early in the game, every officiating group will call a game differently. You'll have some groups that, you know, hey, a slap on the wrist might not get a whistle, and others that a shoulder bump ball on a 50-50 ball may, and that's fine. It's a feeling out process early in the game. I'm sure Coach Claudel was back there talking to the boys saying, hey, listen, you guys in foul trouble are going to have to play smart in this second half. But just a 5-point game. Like I said, we saw the Mustangs start this game down 6-0. It was just a couple big threes from the Wildcats late that opened this up. So Eldon is really going to have to start running shooters off the line for Warsaw.
Yes, absolutely. Especially, I would say one of your main threats out there is those 3-point shooters, Garrett, and then there was one other, but I don't have a roster and I don't remember his name. But they're very, very strong from the 3-point line, and they get open very easily. They set that screen, and they have a quick release into their shot, and we've seen the shot fall more times than we have seen this.
No, absolutely. But nonetheless, I think the Mustangs in a very good position still, because the second half, call it what it is. You got 2 fouls on all those guys. Okay, you don't care in the third quarter. You put them out there, and as long as they don't pick up foul 4, you're good for the quarter. So I think it'll be a different look for Eldon when they come out to start this third quarter of action. Reminder, it's a weird weekend. Tomorrow, noon, the Chiefs play on a Saturday. It's a very strange situation. Chiefs will play the Houston Texans tomorrow at noon at Arrowhead. They then turn around on short notice and play Christmas Day, Wednesday, that game might be noon as well now that I'm saying that. I'm not positive. Maybe it's later. I don't know. I haven't looked. But that game's on Netflix, of all places. Yeah, it's a whole weird series. But the Chiefs will be playing tomorrow at noon. And in the same breath, Sunday at noon, the rivalry game is back. The bragging rights game, Mizzou versus the Fighting Illini of Illinois, square off in St. Louis at the Enterprise Center in a huge game for the Missouri Tigers as Mizzou is 10-1 on the season. I mean, a 10-game win streak. They lost that first game of the year with the new guys, and it was a close battle. And since then, they decided, I guess they just met with Coach Gates in the locker room, said, Coach, that losing thing didn't feel very good. We'd really rather not do that again. He said, well, that's fine with me, guys. We don't want to. And they have been winning ever since then. Got a tough win over Jackson State the other night. But, I mean, on the streak, you beat Kansas. Mizzou last year won 8 games all season. They have 10 wins before Christmas. That's a night-and-day turnaround.
Yeah, that's a good thing going in. I don't really watch college basketball, but I see some stuff, and I hear a bunch of stuff from Colton because he is an avid sports fan. I will let you guys know.
I've never watched sports before. I don't know what you're talking about, Britt. What are sports?
Oh, right. Is it opposite day? Is that something new around here?
It might be.
Okay.
It might be. We got you on a mic. Anything's possible. We're going to take a break. We'll come back with more of the Hy-Vee halftime show in just a bit. You're listening to KS-95 Sports.
Every day, your Jefferson City and Osage Beach Hy-Vee pharmacies are committed to your health and wellness. If you're enrolled in Medicare Part B, Medicare Advantage plans, and most commercial plans, they'll cover up to 8 over-the-counter COVID-19 tests per month at no cost through Hy-Vee. Most plans cover these costs and no prescription is required. Stop in at your Osage Beach or Jefferson City Hy-Vee pharmacy and see the helpful pharmacy staff today.
H&R Block of Versailles is a family-owned and operated Block Advisors office celebrating 10 years of business serving Versailles and the surrounding areas. Pamela Johnson, an enrolled agent, and her certified team are here to prepare your taxes, handle your bookkeeping and payroll, plus audits, tax notices with the IRS and the state, and problem solving and issue resolution. For more information, call the H&R Block office on Monroe Street in Versailles at 573-378-5843. 573-378-5843.
When you're looking for a new furnace or air conditioner, price is important, but warranty, reliability, and efficiency are big factors too. At DeGraff & Reed Heating and Cooling, you'll receive very competitive pricing on the industry-leading AirEase products. Every AirEase product is built on 80 years of experience, testing, and research. Servicing the Lake and Jefferson City areas for nearly 15 years, DeGraff & Reed Heating and Cooling for reliable products offered by reliable people. Call DeGraff & Reed Heating and Cooling.
It's halftime here in Warsaw. 31-26, the Wildcats lead the Mustangs. Like I said, a pair of late threes really bolstered that, as it was Garrett Ferguson knocking down, was it 2 threes or 3? 3 threes, yeah, because he hit that one at the end, excuse me. So 3 threes, 3 straight threes for the Wildcats. Those were the last 3 possessions, and that's why they hold on to this 5-point lead, which, once again, if you're the Mustangs, it's pretty simple. Know where Garrett Ferguson is, run shooters off the 3-point line, and offensively, I feel like the Mustangs have gotten the looks they want, and especially once you get some of your core guys back out there that were in foul trouble, I really believe Britton Ahart has a mismatch and can take advantage of it.
Absolutely, especially starting off this third quarter, as I believe there will be all 5 starters down there.
Yeah. You can see Hines, Ahart, and Tam all back. And that's another thing. Cody played in total maybe 4 minutes of the first half.
Yeah, it was a very, very short first quarter for Cody, and he's a big – he gets your rebounds, okay? We got to say it. He's a great rebounder, and that's where a large proportion of the Eldon's team rebounds come from. And I think having Cody back in there, that might be a lot more helpful, and he'll get a lot more points coming back off of the board.
By the way, you are listening to tonight's broadcast on KTKS for Sales Eldon at the Lake of the Ozarks, 95.1 FM. We're also streaming online, lakeradio.com, and, of course, at MoSportsZone.com and on the MoSportsZone app. I'm Colton Taylor. We got Britt with us tonight, and, of course, Mark Sidebottom back at the studio engineering tonight's contest. First possession of the second half go to the Wildcats, going to the basket to our left in those home whites as we now move into the American Sun Control third quarter of action. It's a steal by the Mustangs. Off to the races. Hines, little mid-range pull-up, up and good. That's what you want to see to start the second half if you're Eldon.
Absolutely.
The pressure's been there all night. Warsaw, though, able to break the press, gets into the half-court offense, gets inside, kicks out, short corner jumper, up and good. So Warsaw an answer of their own. 33-28, they lead the Mustangs. Britton on the point. Mustangs are trying to figure out their spacing as they're running two guys at the high post. Hines steps out on the right wing, goes to Talon on that left high post, flips it out to Ahart. Jab step, gets inside, makes space, uses his pivot foot, dishes it out to Hines. He'll release a three from the corner and got it.
That's 3 quick points there.
Hines, that was the oddest release on a three. It looked slow the whole way up, but it was money.
It was a beautiful shot.
Great defense, great pass on the cut. A three lined up from the Wildcats for an answer.
It's whoever answers back first here and right now.
No. Tam drives baseline, spin move, gets two guys in the air, whips it out to Talon, a shot fake, drives to the basket. Oh. They're going to get Talon for a charge.
That'll be his third.
So turnover back to the Wildcats who lead by 5. Warsaw is living by the three-point ball right now.
Absolutely. That's been their money shot all night. And it's not that it's bouncing around. It's nothing but net.
Good ball movement. Wildcats in the half-court set. Once again, straight man defense from the Mustangs. Bayshore there defensively. Driving baseline. Good help played by Hardy. After the show, the shot blocked by Hines. Kept alive. Now it's on the floor. Ahart has it. He wants to run. Crossover. It's knocked loose. Picked up by the Wildcats. Just taken away by Ahart. Finally picked up by Hines to Hardy. Steps into a three. Halfway down. Wouldn't go. And the Wildcats get the board. Sporadic pace right now. Corner three. Ferguson gets the man to fly by. Pulls the three. Draws nothing but air. Hines there for the board. Head to Bayshore. He gets to the middle of the floor. Head up, looking for a cutter. That's Tam underneath the basket. Blocked from behind. Ball out of bounds, but will stay with the Mustangs. I think the problem is Cody got so far underneath the basket on the fast break, he couldn't just go straight up, so he was trying to lean back, and that's an easy block to make.
Absolutely, especially when that ball's coming down with him. We've seen very, very fast pace here in this third quarter. I don't know. Couldn't tell you how many possessions it's been.
Ahart lobs it into Hardy, who watches his footing on the sideline. Bayshore, who Tam goes up, athletic move just to get it, drops it off to Deer King, who lays it up and in.
It's a great look looking over his shoulder.
Yeah, Cody Tam with an excellent find in midair and a great finish by Deer King. Back to that 2-2-1 press for the Mustangs. Looking for a trap in the corner. Wildcats being patient, able to break it down on the left wing. However, throwing it out of bounds, so the Mustangs got what they wanted. 36-33. Warsaw leads Eldon with 5:22 to go in the American Sun Control third quarter. Of course, all a part of our Martin Metal broadcast here this evening. Hardy to Bayshore. Brett Bayshore has gotten better and better as the season's gone along, even in this early point. Ahart makes... Okay. Ahart makes space, and they're going to call him for a charge.
That'll be his fourth.
So now
that was his third.
Talon and Britton have both picked up a foul this quarter based off of a charge. So with 5:05 to go, once again, foul trouble plaguing the Mustangs. Staying with that press. It's a three-point game. Warsaw on the left wing, back to the middle of the floor. Setting down screens, trying to free up the wing. Ferguson take to the rim. Tam contested, but Ferguson soft touch to lay it up and in. Lead back at 5. Salzman dishes it out. Little head and shoulder fake from Tam. Drops it back off to Salzman. Drives, skips it to Hardy. Hardy makes space, fires a three off the iron, wouldn't go. Rebound pulled in by the Wildcats.
Kind of see the Wildcats trying to slow the game down, I think, a little bit here.
Oh, right now, shots are falling for Warsaw, and they are not for Eldon. Lead still just at 5 with 4:15 to play in the American Sun Control third quarter of action. Patiently working around the outside, setting a back cut, trying to get the cutter. Now a 3, top of the key. It's up and good.
That number 24 was the name that I could not remember earlier.
Logan James, and he shot the 3 ball very well also. It's been very simple for Warsaw. They're either getting a layup at the rim or they're getting a 3. And a timeout going to be called by the Eldon bench. Lead at 8, 41-33 with just under 4 minutes to play. You're listening to KS-95 Sports.
Hi, I'm Colton Taylor, and I use Versailles Total Fitness. Their 24-hour access makes it easy for me to fit gym time into my busy schedule. I love how spacious and versatile their gym is. With a wide selection of free weights, cable machines, and all the cardio equipment you could need, I have plenty of options to help me stay in shape to cover our local sports teams. They work hard to provide a clean, safe, and comfortable environment. Join me and everyone else at Versailles Total Fitness in becoming a healthier you. Versailles Total Fitness at 31 North Monroe, or give them a call at 573-789-6800.
Back in the American Sun Control third quarter, a tricky spot for Eldon as foul trouble has caused them to have a lot of their key players spend some time on the bench. Meanwhile, the Wildcats have absolutely found their touch from the three-point line. I believe 5 of their last 8 buckets have came from 3, if my math's right.
That sounds about right.
Eldon on the inbound. They toss it into Hull, into Ahart. Gets to a Kai in the air. He's stripped on the way up, but the ball will stay with the Mustangs. Coach Caudell asking the official, come on, man. Grab his arm. They lob it into Talon again. This time they were looking for Tam on the cut. Britton flares high on the right wing. Jab step, pulls a contested 3 off front iron. Kept alive by Talon through the contact. No whistle, ball to the Wildcats. Eldon getting looks, just unable to finish right now. Hines back in the game is there defensively. His ball picked up in the short corner, but Warsaw going to reset. 41-33, the Wildcats lead. Top of the key, Ahart there defensively. Work to the left side. A lot of screening going on by this Wildcat team, making space underneath, laying it up and in.
It's just a good bucket,
A patient offense.
Absolutely.
So the lead has ballooned to 10. Tam to Hull. Spacing not quite right for Eldon. They reset. Ahart attacks, goes to the short corner, skips it to Talon, to Hines. He drives from the left corner, gets inside, gives it up to Britton. Britton tacks, hangs in the air, off the glass, and scores. Mustangs needed that bucket bad.
They absolutely did, and I wonder if it was one of those things, that they just needed to see the ball go through the basket.
And Ahart pins it off the glass, but it's kept alive by Warsaw. And Cody Tam breathed on somebody wrong, so he picks up a foul.
I wonder, I hope that Eldon doesn't start getting frustrated, because we've seen the foul count is 3-0. We saw a lot of fouls against Eldon and not very many for Eldon.
Yeah, Coach Caudell's not a happy man down there, but nonetheless, lead is at 8, 43-35. Inbounds to Warsaw. I believe this is an Old America set as they're looking for the corner. Instead, mid-range jumper pulled up and hit. This Warsaw team, give them their props. They are making shots right now.
Absolutely.
Lead back at 10. Hardy to Ahart. Going to the block inside. Great back post by Hines. Great feed. Ahart layup up and in. 45-37. 2:15 to play. Eldon needing to get a stop, try to cut into this 8-point lead. Wildcats have been ridiculously efficient shooting the ball, and the Mustang defense forces a 10-second call. Warsaw wants the 30s. What? Whoa, what?
The referee is going to give them a timeout before the 5-second
But the FAR official called the 10-second call.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So Eldon thought they had the 10-second call, but the two officials, I guess the nearer official to the coach, said that he got the timeout in before the call. So Warsaw saves the turnover, 2:06 to play, and maintains possession. Eldon has got to get a stop here. It's still only an 8-point game. If you can get a stop and score, get this back down to 6 or less before the end of the quarter, you're in a fine position because once that fourth quarter hits, you're really not going to worry about fouls at that point. It's going to be play what you can do.
Yeah, absolutely. You can send your, scorers out there and tell them just go play basketball and not have to worry about the fouls so early in the game because you're obviously later in the game.
Warsaw to inbounds. Able to get it across half court. Racing forward, dish back out to the left wing. Now we'll see if the Wildcats going to be a little patient here. Use up some of this clock, and that does seem to be the case. Straight man from Eldon still. Ahart out defensively. Now Deerking there. Just cut and run off the screen. Contested three thrown up off the iron won't go. Hines there actually fighting Deerking for the board. Nonetheless, the Mustangs get the stop. Ahead to Hines with a head of steam. Goes to the basket. Jump shot. Shot climbs the iron and goes. Down to a 6-point game with 1:30 to play. And I looked down. I didn't see the call, but either way, the ball stays with the Wildcats. 45-39. Eldon will not go away.
It's been a strong quarter out of Hines. He's got 9 already.
Wow. It's a big spark for him. Bullet to the middle, tip by Ahart, but kept alive by Warsaw. A trap. That's got to be a trap. Oh. Eldon thought they had the travel, and a shove gonna be called. Coach Caudell is beside himself. That hurts. It seems like every time Eldon does something right, there's something to negate it. That foul going to go on Hines. Still 6-point game. Mustangs trying to get a stop that doesn't get called a foul. Fisher Curious 4-0 is the foul count. And the ball thrown out of bounds by the Wildcats back to the Mustangs. So Eldon has it down to 6. Could whittle it down to 4 or even 3 with a made field goal here. Big possession as we hit 1:10 to play in the American Sun Control third quarter. Ahart on the right wing. Goes to Talon, who steps out. Britton, shot fake, and player jumped for the shot, landed on Britton. Yeah, that's generally going to get called.
A bucket here with a minute left could really shift the momentum for Eldon going into this fourth quarter, and that could be huge.
Absolutely. In the same breath, though, you want to get a good look because a soft turnover or a bucket the other way can flip it just as quickly.
Absolutely.
So Talon going to cross half court off the inbounds with 1 minute to play in the American Sun Control third quarter and a 6-point Warsaw lead. Goes to Ahart on the left side and a whistle. What's the call? I don't know what the call is here. Wait to see from the official. Did we just get a double foul?
We have a foul on Hines, I believe.
Yeah, it's a double foul. 2 players jockeying for position. It's going to be Hines, which the bigger factor here is that Hines gets that foul. That is his 4th. So he's going to have to come out of the game. And for Warsaw, it's going to go against Logan Jeans, but it's just his 1st. So while it may have been a double foul, it definitely had a bigger effect on Eldon. Hold the attack, makes space, and is called for the charge. Turnover back to Warsaw.
That's another big one because that is his 4th as well.
Yep. So, Warsaw with the ball in a 6-point lead. Eldon trying to get a stop, keep momentum in their favor to close out the third quarter. Staying with that 2-2-1 press. Salzman is checked in. Oh, and Salzman tips the ball out of bounds. Last touch by the Wildcats. Great defense by Salzman to force the turnover.
Absolutely.
Coach Caudell was right in front of him. He was hyped.
You like that excitement. You have a game that's very winnable right now, especially if you do, in this instance, everything right.
Ahart to inbound, tosses it back to Tam. 40 seconds to play in a 6-point Wildcat lead here in the American Sun Control third quarter. Ahart to Hardy. Oh, Ahart was looking for the lob. Salzman pulls the 3, tried to bank it in, wouldn't go. Tam keeps it alive, saves it back to Hardy. Hardy underneath. Out to Deerking. Over to Ahart, back to Hardy. 22 seconds to play. Mustangs can reset here. Salzman drives, makes space, needs help. Turnaround jumper is blocked. 10 seconds to play. The Wildcats going to try to get up the floor and get a look. Deerking back defensively, gets trucked, and a charge going to be called on the Wildcats. Great job, Mason Deerking, getting into position and drawing the contact.
Absolutely. That's, again, it might not be points on the board, but that's still a huge momentum shift right here with 8 seconds left, which is plenty of time to get a shot off.
So 8.2 remain. Eldon needs points here. Hull back to Britton. 6 seconds to play. Britton, they run off him. He makes space, top of the key, pulls a contested three. Oh, off the front iron of the backboard, nearly went. After three, still just a 6-point game, 45-39. The Wildcats lead Eldon. Fourth quarter action coming up. You're listening to KS-95 Sports.
Hi, I'm Brandon, and welcome to Gladstone Cove Boat Trailer Sales. Do you need a trailer to get your boat out of the water? Maybe just a replacement trailer. Or considering selling your boat and you know a trailer will help get it done. We carry 11 lines of high-quality boat trailers, and if we don't have what you need, we also build our very own line of custom aluminum boat trailers. Thanks to everyone that's been by or just heard of us and gave us a referral. From my family to yours, we can't thank you enough.
Martin Metal, just outside of Versailles, Missouri, is proud to announce the operation of our new laminated post-production plant. We now offer our customers high-quality glued, nailed, and planed 3-ply, 4-ply, and 5-ply columns. Yellow pine and treated 2x6 and 2x8 constructed. These posts won't split, warp, or twist and are backed by a 50-year warranty against rot and decay. Order by the job, the bundle, or the truckload, as we offer delivery in Missouri and across the heartland of America. Call Martin Metal to find out more. 573-378-4050 and move your project forward with Martin Metal.
We move into the Jason Blankenship CPA fourth quarter of action. This game's still very much anybody's ball game, as the Mustangs, they trail by as much as 10 in that third quarter, but Eldon has fought their way back each time that it looked like this thing was starting to open up. First possession, though, of the Jason Blankenship CPA fourth quarter will go to Warsaw. 45-39 is the Wildcat lead. Inbounds, and yeah, that's not a great start for Coach Caudell, as the ball was inbound. The Warsaw player took 3 steps before he dribbled, no whistle, and it results in a lay-in from James to end that one. That's a tough one to swallow.
If you saw the look on Coach Caudell's face, I'll just say that was the reaction from everyone.
Oh, hold a Hardy. Ahart will try a 3 off the iron, just wouldn't go, and went up over the backboard, out of bounds. Ball back to the Wildcats. Lead is at 8. It's one of those when things aren't going your way, you cannot put your head down, and I don't think for a second Eldon will.
No, absolutely not. They're a hard-fighting team, and you see they're trying to...
That's a travel... Never mind. I don't know what a travel is anymore. Layup on the other end, up and good, and it's a 10-point game. Hardy, crossover. It's taken away, so he skips the top of the key to Ahart. Ahart makes space, gives it back to Devin. Back to Britton. He lines up a 3, left wing off the front iron. Tam soars for the board. It's knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Wildcats. We'll stay with Eldon. Boy, Cody can get up.
Absolutely. I think his elbows were above the rim, if I'm not mistaken.
That kid can jump. There's no doubt about that.
Camera's moving.
Ahart gets it into Devin on the left wing. Britton steps out and gets it back in the short corner. Spin move on the baseline, makes space off the glass, up and in. Beautiful footwork from Britton Ahart. Lead at 8. Eldon right back to that press. Racing to the basket, but it's taken away. And a double team. It's stripped loose, picked up by Ferguson. He turns the corner, goes to the basket. It's stripped from behind by Cody. So they're going to get him for a foul. Is that 4 on Cody? I believe it's going to be. At least that's what's posted, and that will send Garrett Ferguson to the free throw line. I don't know that I've seen him shoot free throws, but based on how he shoots threes, I'm going to guess he's good at them.
Yeah. That's a good guesstimation.
First free throw for Ferguson, money. Didn't even think about touching the iron. Lead back at 9.
Most of his shots don't even think about touching the iron.
Well, Ferguson is a very good shooter. There's no doubt about that. Second free throw for Garrett. Up off front iron, wouldn't go. Ahart the board. Racing the other way, Hardy inside to Hines, but good job getting back by Warsaw to knock it loose. It's taken away by James. Picks it up in a trap, but able to get out of it. 6:20 to play. It's a 9-point Warsaw lead. Eldon trying to get a stop here. Ferguson dishes to the corner. Good defense being played by Hines. He's playing with 4 fouls out here. He's got to be smart. Left corner, Hardy there defensively. Warsaw always looking for that cut. Oh, near steal by Hardy, but the Wildcats keep it alive. Drive to the basket, hanging in the air. Oh, what a soft touch and finish.
It's like very crisp.
It's an 11-point lead now for the Wildcats. This really is the danger zone for Eldon. They've got to get points. Tam fighting inside. Good find by Ahart. Cody just said, I'm going to take the elevator up, see if you can meet me there. And a tie-up, a travel, nothing? Okay. Warsaw, show and go to the rim, rolls off the iron. Hines the board. It's stripped from Hines because he was fouled, and it is called. Somebody did a barrel roll and a tumble. And I think it's Eldon ball.
3 steps go very fast.
Turns out they don't always.
Yeah, I take it back.
5:34 to play. Warsaw leads by 9. Eldon with the ball. This is the Jason Blankenship CPA fourth quarter of action. All part of our Martin Metal broadcast. Ahart on the right wing. Straight man defense from the Wildcats and trying to force the ball inside. It's tipped and stolen by Warsaw. Running the floor, going to reset is Siebert. Excuse me, that was James. And, I mean, when it's your day, it's your day. It went off the back of the hand of a Mustang and wound up at the hand of Logan James, and he laid it up and in. Lead back at 11. Inside, Ahart just fighting to make space, lays it up and in. Back to a 9-point game. Eldon has shown they can score, but now they got to get stops, and that is going to be a travel on Warsaw. And this one's called.
So there's still 4 minutes to go here, and, Eldon's still showing they still got that fight in them, and they're still ready to go out and take it either to the board or, even shoot the 3-point because they've had a lot of success from there throughout their season.
Eldon with the basketball. Hardy on that left side. Back to Ahart. Back to Hardy on the left wing. They're trying to post Tam high. Bayshore in the corner. Gets it to Devin. Devin long 2 up and good, but I think the foot was on the line and the official agrees. Still, it's a 7-point game. Eldon can get a stop here. This game gets real interesting real fast. Ferguson, couple pass fakes, breaks down the press ahead to James. Inside, good job by Bayshore to take it away. 4:20 to play, 54-47, 7-point game. Trying to play a game of keep away against the Mustangs can get dangerous. As long as Rhett Bayshore is on the field, somebody's flying. Rhett gets dumped. Play on. James top of the key. Bayshore out on him. They're looking for back cuts. Eldon's played it pretty well.
Eldon's played some very disciplined defense here.
Inside extra pass thrown away by the Wildcats. Mustangs get the ball back with just under 4 to go, down by 7.
This bucket right here is huge.
If you can score here, and the last 2 or 3 possessions, we've seen Eldon get to the rack. I'm staying with that formula.
Absolutely.
Ahart, hesitation, drive straight to the lane, dishes it off to Hines. Weak side shot, hangs up on the iron, but it's tipped out by Ahart. Hardy gets it. Skips it to Britton. Thought about the 3. Drives, pulls up the short corner. Jumper off the iron, wouldn't go. Hines laid out on a fight for the board, but the Warsaw Wildcats have it. 3:30 to play in the lead at 7. Warsaw with the ball, top of the key. Hines there defensively. Wildcats being patient. It looks like the first possession of the game all over again.
Very patient, trying to eat as much clock as they can, I think.
They just down screen and make space for the guy cutting up. Now they go high post, looking for the back cuts. Not there. It's popped loose by Ahart, but recovered. Now in the corner, closing in on 3 minutes to play. Mustangs have got to find a way to tip a pass or something. Otherwise, Warsaw is going to burn more and more time here. Resets with Ferguson. Hines out on him. Hines got to be careful because he's got 4 fouls. But at this point in the game, you still got to go for it. Steal attempt by Ahart, and a reach-in foul going to be called. That'll be Britton's 4th. Britton with 4. Tam with 4. Hines with 4. Somehow I have 3. Britt walked into the door. She got a technical. It was, we all have fouls. Warsaw the inbound. Eldon making it difficult. And a 5-second going to be called. Wow. Some smothering Mustang defense.
Absolutely. They've really turned it on, and they've been strong with their defense being called on fouls.
A bucket here. A bucket here. Boy, it gets exciting.
Yes.
54-47 is the Warsaw lead. It's a Warsaw team that played California to a 1-point game.
I would have liked to see that game.
Tam steps into a 3, gets it!
There is the game.
We've got a 4-point game with 2:30 to go. Eldon trailed by 10 just moments ago. Warsaw going to try to run the clock. Only up 4. You got to be careful if you're the Wildcats. Eldon is going to be jumping every passing lane, but Britton out there with 4. Tam with 4. Hines with 4. Hines actually not on the floor right now as Deer King is checked back in. 2:10 to go. Coach Caudell saying, get up on him. Don't let him have the space. Start that 5-second count. Make Warsaw pass this ball. Ahart on Ferguson. Now Hull out there defensively. Now Ahart back again. Once again, having to play smart pressure without fouling. We go under 2 minutes to play in this 4-point ball game. Deer King there, and they tell Mason, go ahead and foul.
That's not a bad idea either, considering you're at 3 fouls. Gets the clock stopped, and Mason doesn't have, but that's his first foul in the fourth quarter.
Also, you only had 2 team fouls. If you're going to play the free throw game, you've got to get that foul number up so that you can foul and send to the line when you want. I'm sure by this point in the game, Eldon's already picking out, if we have to foul, who do we want shooting free throws? And I get the feeling it may be Noah Siebert, the junior, they're going after. Tossing into the backcourt. James back there. Bayshore all over it. Oh, my. Brett Bayshore going to be called for the reach-in foul with his chest. And Britt's trying to take out every bit of equipment we own. Man, I thought Rhett played that beautifully. Rhett, when he plays, he's one of those guys, he gets the arms out wide, straight leads with his chest, and does great lateral movement, but they get him for the blocking foul nonetheless. Probably not the worst thing in the world, as that'll be team foul 4.
That was a missed call.
And nonetheless, a foul going to be called as Eldon gets the reach. Yeah, Coach Caudell is hot. The ball got thrown into the front court. The player bobbled it into the back court. And Coach Caudell basically saying, that's a back court. Like, that's a turnover. We got the stop. And instead, we're still at the free throw line. And that will be Noah Siebert. Once again, I don't know if Eldon wanted to foul Siebert, if that was the plan. He just has received a couple fouls late, which makes me think it could be. But Siebert saying, hey, if that's the plan, it's not a good one because he hits the first free throw. That extends the lead to 5. Back into the game, Britton Ahart, Cody Tam, Talon Hull. Eldon having to go offense, defense because, well,
time is a factor here.
And Eldon's collected all the fouls. They have been in foul trouble across the board. Once again, 3 guys on the floor right now with 4 fouls. Second free throw off the back iron wouldn't go. Lead is at 5, 1:47 to go. Hardy races into the front court with the ball. Drives, draws the double team, dishes it out. Britton looking for help, goes back to Devin. 1:39 to play. Mustang's going to have to operate quick. Still a 5-point game. You've got time. Just get a good look here. Hardy to Cody. He'll try the 3. Got it! Cody Tam makes it a 2-point game with 1:25 to go. Eldon doesn't have to foul now. You can just play defense and a jump ball. Ooh. Ooh.
That will be Britton's fault.
A jump, a reach-in foul going to go on Britton Ahart and foul him out of the game. Cody Tam has been absolute nails late in this game.
Absolutely. He's came in when the Mustangs needed him most, you know. We saw that 3-point shot earlier, and that was a big momentum shift going into this fourth quarter. In this shot here, obviously, it is a 2-point game with 1:20. This game is undetermined still.
Logan James, the senior, will go to the line. Logan has played great tonight for Warsaw. He's moved the ball well, but also hit, I believe, 3 threes in this game. I mean, James, an excellent player, and a chance to make this a 2-possession game at the line. That's the beauty of this for Eldon. If James misses either of these, it remains a 1-possession game. Deep squat, first free throw, rattles out. So no matter what happens here, it's a 1-possession game for Eldon. Cody Tam, he's ready for this. He is...
I think he's got it in his mind.
I think he already wants the ball. Second free throw from James to try to make it a 3-point game. Deep squat, free throw up and good. 56-53. Warsaw leads by 3 with 1:20 to play. Pass ahead to Tam. He has to retrieve it, fires it to Deer King, and a good timeout by Coach Caudell, as that one had turnover written all over it. We'll take the break with them. 1:15 to play. Just a 3-point game. You're listening to KS-95 Sports.
Sold out crowd at Remax Arena at Lake of the Ozarks, and Winter Shelton's got 5 seconds left to win this deal. Can they pull it off? Inbound passes to Shelton at the top of the key. They try to dust us over the competition with some razzle-dazzle. 2, 1, he shoots the game winner, and it's Winter Shelton for the win! Shelton is crushing it. When buying a home or real estate, put the ball in Winter Shelton's hands for the game winner. Winter Shelton's crushing it, yeah.
Eldon has refused to go away in this game. Every time it looked like Warsaw had put the final nail in the coffin, Eldon has had something to say. They've cut it down to a 3-point game with possession here. The problem is your leading scorer on the season, Britton Ahart, is now on the bench. You're playing 2 guys out there in Cody Tam and young Mr. Hines with 4 fouls each. But Eldon has the ball under their own basket. Inbounds Hardy. 3 for the tie. Got it!
A great shot by Hardy, and especially when the Eldon Mustangs needed it most right here.
We're tied at 56 apiece, 1:05 to play. Mustangs trying to ramp up the defense. And it's near steal. What's the whistle? Timeout by Warsaw as Hardy was all over him. This gets interesting. Here's the only problem for Eldon. You had to play the foul game to get back in this. That means now you have to play this clean because any foul will send Warsaw to the line.
Yes.
Eldon was down 10.
It's pure grit.
You want to look at, I'll amp this up more. Eldon was down 10. Eldon has been on the short end of the foul count all night to the extent that 3 of their best players, their 3 leading scorers, have all had to play limited minutes because they've been on the bench. And somehow Eldon has knotted this game up at 56 apiece. I mean, this is big for the Mustangs going forward. You've got to find a way to pull this one out.
They have never hung their head down, no matter which call goes against them or for them. They've never put their head down. They have put their head up and look, eyes on the basket. And it's proved to be very good for them in this game.
And once again, hats off to Coach Caudell. You've seen several moments that he wanted to lose his cool and has kept that temperament, and they are in this game because of it.
Absolutely. A coach's presence and their attitude definitely reflects on the players, and you can see that from the Eldon team.
By the way, on the floor, as Zach Hull was looking aside and going, Coach, we've only got 4 players. So on the floor for the Mustangs, it is Hines, Salzman, Deer King, Zach Hull, Devin Hardy. I feel like I'm missing somebody.
Deer King?
I don't know, but it's a steal by Hardy on the inbounds. Mustangs with the ball, 57 seconds to left. Left in the game. 56 seconds left. 54 seconds now as the timeout is called by the Eldon bench. Eldon has a chance to take the lead here.
This is huge, especially if they have enough trust within their players to eat some more of that clock, get a last second bucket, I guess, not even a last minute.
Let's see here. I was trying to see on their clock where it shows timeouts left.
I didn't even see a place for it.
I don't think it does. That's my thing. I don't know how many timeouts left Eldon has. I do wonder if you're Coach Caudell, if yes, you draw it up as that, and if you see they're overplaying and you know it's dangerous, call another timeout and reset. But it looks like Coach Caudell is drawing something up for his squad. We got a great view of it right now. He's drawing up the inbounds to start with. But then, going to go into an offensive set. If you're Eldon, I'm not saying you play down for one shot, but I think if you're Eldon, you just try to get the look you want. You make Warsaw play to beat you.
Absolutely. You make Warsaw play to win this game. You don't give them the win, if that makes sense.
Which I'm looking up at that scoreboard. Cody Tam, 12 big points when the Mustangs have needed them. Also, Devin Hardy, a quiet 13. I say quiet. That last one, there was nothing quiet about it. Knotted up at 56 apiece. 54 seconds remain. Eldon trailed by 10 not long ago. But they have a chance to take the lead with any kind of offense on this possession. Can they come back and steal one from the Wildcats here in Warsaw?
It's going to be which team can play the most disciplined basketball here.
On the floor, it is Tam, Deer King, Hull, Hines, and Hardy. Inbounds, Hull in the backcourt gets it. He's going to be patient bringing it up as we go under 50 seconds. Straight man. Hull's got space. He's going to eat a little time here, uses the Hardy screen and sets it back up. Whips it over to Hines on the right wing, back to Hardy. Hardy is being pressured by Ferguson. We'll have to put the ball on the floor. Goes to Hull. I think Eldon does want the last shot.
Very patient here.
Tam over to Hines. We've hit 30 seconds to play. Hines on the drive. Gives it up to Hull to reset at the logo. 25 seconds. Eldon is running this clock down. They know what they want, and they're fighting to get it here. Ooh, Tam. Dangerous play there, but recovers under 20 seconds left.
Eldon is very calm.
15 seconds to go, and now Eldon will burn the timeout. That was
beautiful.
And I love it. You see Warsaw is upset as they're saying we had to foul there. We needed to foul. Coach Caudell happy with his squad as they just executed that to perfection. He wanted to make sure they were going to have a chance to win this game and not give Warsaw that same opportunity. I mean, that's beautiful.
15 seconds here, you go out and you eat, maybe 5 more seconds off of this clock. That's less down to 10 seconds. But we have seen Warsaw take that 10-second possession and score successfully off that. So I think that's kind of in the back of Caudell's mind right now.
I know Coach Caudell. Excellent coach. I think the world of Coach Caudell as a coach. I don't know what he's drawing up, but I would not be shocked if this play somehow involves getting Cody Tam to the basket. With his leaping ability, you get him near the rim, he has a chance to get up over somebody, potentially draw a foul, or just score the bucket.
Absolutely. Yes, from a player standpoint, I love the relationship that Coach Caudell has with these boys and the trust that he has within them. He could send anyone out there, I feel, and tell them to do something, and he has full trust that he could turn around with his back to them and that they would carry that task out.
Finishing the game with a chance to win it for the Mustangs. Once again, it's going to be Hull, Hardy, Hines, Deer King, and Tam.
I'm excited.
15.1. We're knotted up at 56 apiece here in Warsaw. Once again, Eldon was down 10, I believe, in this quarter, and now have a chance to win. They've got to be clean on this inbounds. Running away, they throw it in the backcourt to Talon. 14 seconds to play as Talon closes in on half court, being pressured. Okay, a reach-in foul. This is actually clever by Warsaw. Use those fouls. That's only the second team foul. Don't let Eldon get into the offensive set. Make sure if they do get a look, it's going to be something quick and uncomfortable. So that'll be 10.3 to go. Now Eldon to inbounds again, this time right in front of their own bench. Oh, a dangerous pass is picked off by Warsaw. 8 seconds to play. Warsaw now going to call a timeout with 7 seconds left, and they're going to have a chance to win this game.
It's very back and forth. Eldon's going to have to look to, kind of do what Warsaw just did to them.
Warsaw has lived and died by the 3. And that's the thing. This catch-and-shoot game is going to be here. A quick substitution for Eldon as it looks like Salzman and Zach Hull going to check into the game, because if you're Eldon now, you've got to stay aware of that foul game. You've got 3 guys with 4 fouls, and this game has overtime written all over it.
Absolutely. 7 seconds, that's enough to get off a shot, but depending on the pressure of the defense, and we've seen pretty good pressure from Eldon, is it going to be a clean shot and a shot that's worth taking?
My only hope, but I don't want to be speaking this into existence. I don't mean an announcer's jinx. I don't want this game to be decided because a reach-in foul sends someone to the free throw line or something like that.
Absolutely.
The Warsaw going to have a chance to potentially win this one at the buzzer or go to overtime. Eldon looking for a quick turnover and a chance of their own. So it is Hines, Salzman, Hardy, Deer King, and Zach Hull.
These next 7 seconds going to be the most exciting seconds of our lives for today.
Warsaw to inbound on the far sideline on their side of the floor. They run a stack. Eldon's got 4 guys up. Salzman is back protecting the basket. Warsaw gets it in on the corner. 3 seconds to go. Going to have to force one. Ferguson behind the volleyball line lets it go, and it draws nothing. We've played 4 and decided nothing. We're going to overtime when we come back. You're listening to KS-95 Sports.
Hi, I'm Jason Blankenship, owner of Jason Blankenship CPA LLC. As the year quickly draws to a close, it's time to start thinking about tax planning strategies for your farm and business. We are happy to meet with you and help you see where things stand for the year. We can also give you advice on ways to spend money to help you grow your business, all while maximizing your tax savings. No matter what your tax, payroll, or accounting needs are, Jason Blankenship CPA LLC has got you covered. Celebrating 10 years of service to the Central Missouri area and looking forward to many more, give us a call at 573-557-2417 or stop by and see us at 401 East North Street in Eldon.
Since 1882, the Bank of Versailles has been locally owned and operated. Lending decisions are made right here in our community by people who understand real estate in the area. The Bank of Versailles is your local home and farm loan specialist, offering knowledgeable staff and competitive fixed rates that are hard to beat. The Bank of Versailles, building relationships with the people in our local community for 142 years. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
And we are getting ready for overtime. It's a Friday night. What else did you want here? Eldon was down 10. Eldon has battled foul trouble all night. They still got 3 kids on the floor with 4 fouls. Their leading scorer, rebounder, and likely assister, Britton Ahart's been on the bench for the last 5 minutes, and we're going to overtime. Opening tip of overtime goes to the Wildcats. They'll have the first look at this one. Ferguson works to the right side. Staying straight man is Eldon. And a reminder, the fouls don't reset for overtime, so any foul will be free throws that the Mustangs commit. Warsaw being patient, working around the outside. The Mustang defense really stepped it up late in that second half. Turning the corner of the attack, dished out. Inside, shot forced up from the mid-range, dies on the back iron and falls through. Warsaw takes the early lead, 58-56 here in overtime. Cole going to bring it up the floor. Straight man from the Wildcats as well. This is basketball in its purest form. Both teams just playing straight man, battling it out in extra time. Hines to Tam. Over to Talon. Back to Hardy on the left wing. Jab step, drives, gets inside, collapses the defense, but it's stripped. Warsaw out looking to run. Hardy tips it from behind, but it's a headshot blocked by Hines. They're going to get Hines for the shooting foul, and that will foul him out of the game.
He's had a great night tonight.
Oh, Hines has impressed me all season, but yes, he's been exceptional tonight. So that's a double whammy, is now going to the free throw line for the Wildcats. Logan James, who, speaking of being exceptional tonight, so not only can he increase the lead, you're now without Hines for the rest of the evening. Zach Hull will come into the game for Hines. Coach Caudell has gone to his bench and used them thoroughly tonight.
And I will say, each one of his bench players that have came off have done an exceptional job stepping into that role in 100%. Such a high-pressure situation.
That will help you leaps and bounds down the season as James' first free throw rattles out. Lead stays at 2. 3:01 to play in this overtime period. This once again is our Martin Metal broadcast here tonight on KS-95, and boy, has it been a good one. Second free throw for James. Couple dribbles, spin, and a deep flex before putting the shot up and in. Lead is at 3 for the Wildcats. Cody Tam over to Talon Hole on the right side. Hardy, left wing. Finds Zach Hull, who shows, gets to the free throw line, gives it to Cody. Cody steps back, goes back to Zach. Zach to Hardy on the left wing. Talon at the top of the key. To Cody. Cody crossover, fighting inside. Contact, dishes it out to Hull, lines up a 3 and gets it!
That is what I'm saying. They're coming off the bench, and they're coming off great for Coach Caudell tonight.
Absolutely. Zach Hull checks in, instantly hits a big shot. Cody the penetration and the dime. We're tied at 59 apiece with 2:20 to play. And a timeout by the Warsaw bench. I'm telling you, any deck you could stack against Eldon tonight has happened to be like, oh, so what's the deal? Is the other team shot the ball? Yeah, they shot the 3 really well. Oh, were you down double digits? Yeah. Any foul trouble? Oh, yeah, absolutely. We've been in foul trouble since we stepped off the bus. And here Eldon is knotted up with 2:22 to play in overtime.
It is a wonderful thing to see. And, you know, looking down these next 2 minutes, win or lose for Eldon, Coach Caudell has to be so happy for his team, knowing that he's got boys on the bench that are ready to step into these varsity positions and score the ball like we just seen Zach did, and play hard-nosed defense in tough foul situations and just step up to be a leader for him. And that's got to be rewarding for a coach.
100%. And, I mean, like I said, the Mustangs, they have played 9 guys deep tonight. A lot of coaches can't do that.
A lot of coaches can't say that they have 9 guys.
That seems fair. Warsaw to inbounds. Tie ball game, 59 apiece. Into the front court with 2:20 to play. Once again, straight man defense from the Mustangs. In the corner, didn't want the 3. Drive, top of the key is Ferguson. Hardy there on him. Sal's been playing great defense. Warsaw once again being patient, running off all the screens. Ball lost out of bounds. Back to the Mustangs with 2:03 to play. Quick substitution as Talon's going to check back. I'm telling you, Coach Caudell is running a coaching clinic tonight.
Absolutely.
How he's thinking about 87 things at once is beyond me. He's drawing up inbounds plays, and I was telling the guys, you've got fouls. I'm going to sub you in for defense. You're coming back on for offense. I mean, goodness gracious. That man's got me tired. Eldon with the ball, 2 minutes to play, tied at 59 apiece in overtime. Talon running the point. 2 starters for the Mustangs on the bench. Hardy back to Talon on the right wing. 1:45 to play. Deer King fakes the screen and dives. They go to Tam at the high post. He gives it back to Talon on the drive. Jump stop, takes the contact. Shots blocked. Back to the Wildcats with 1:40 to go.
I still like that take. You know, he went
100%.
through 3 of the Wildcats, no call, but it's still a good take to see from Talon.
No, I love it. Talon was aggressive going to the basket, and he finishes that more times than not. So I like the take. Under 1:30 to play, Warsaw with the ball. Still tied at 59 apiece in this overtime period. Hardy out defensively, pressuring Ferguson, who gives it up to James. Talon's there on him. They're just down screening at the high post and flashing a guard high. Hardy overplays, makes Warsaw pick a different route.
Something that I'll point out to you, because you probably didn't notice, I think we have a cheer battle going on.
Well, that's always entertaining.
Yeah, Eldon was yelling defense.
Is Warsaw looking for the final shot?
That's what I'm wondering.
We've hit a minute to play, and Warsaw's just working this thing around. I think Warsaw's thinking one shot to end the OT.
You don't want to see that last shot end up in the hands of these 3-point shooters, though, that they have.
Well, it's a gamble. Eldon is playing it clean right now, but you got to wonder, when's Warsaw going to go?
I think Eldon's okay with maybe going to double OT.
But like I said, at some point, somebody's going to dive off this. The basket. Boy, Hull is really pressuring James. He drives, looks for the back cut, carries the player nearly out of bounds, working it around the outside. Corner 3 for James for the lead. Got it.
Eldon's got to go fast here.
20 seconds left. Eldon skips it ahead to Tam. Tam drives, makes some space up to Deer King, drops it off to Hardy. 3 for the tie. Won't go. Rebound Wildcats. Eldon's going to have to foul and foul quick, and they do with 8.8 to go.
It's tough.
But that James 3, I got to give Warsaw their props. They ran a minute and a half off the clock before James dialed up a corner 3 and buried it. That was as clutch a shot as you can hit.
He's been very successful off the 3-point line tonight.
By the way, that's going to send Shane Poyser, the senior, to the free throw line to try to make it a 2-possession game. Timeout is called first. We'll go ahead and hold it here. If either free throw is made, it's a 2-possession game. And with 8.8 to go, it's going to be tough. If by chance both of these free throws are missed, Eldon's got to secure the board and get down the floor and get that look.
Either way, win or lose, I still think it's a win in Eldon's book. They have fought very, very hard tonight. They fought against calls. They fought against, plays. And sometimes they've gotten good looks and the bucket just doesn't fall. When you see Warsaw, their 3-point shot is very, very on tonight. It is their night for threes.
Well, I don't disagree that all things considered, especially with the week it's been for the Eldon Mustangs, to see a teammate get injured and done for the season the way they did, and then to come out here and once again, 2 of your starters on the bench with foul trouble or fouled out of the game for that matter, and a bench where once again normally your teammate who just got hurt would have been the 6th man. You've went to this bench rotation, and boy has it answered.
A phenomenal performance off of these bench players tonight. They have stepped up greatly, and it's just
phenomenal performance across the board for the Mustangs.
Absolutely. They've had all-out grit all together, and they've worked as a team very well, I feel like. It hasn't been a one-man for all.
What may be the biggest shot of the game? First free throw. Off the back iron. The second one, all the pressure's here. If he makes the second one, it's a 4-point game, 2-possession game. If this one misses, Mustangs can go down quickly and try to launch a 3. Can Poyser ice this game with a second free throw with 8.8 to play? Could hear a pin drop in this, Jim. Second free throw, falls. Poyser connects on the one that counts. Eldon will take the full timeout. And we'll hold it here. So for Eldon now, the rule stays the same. Off the timeout, They'll advance the ball to half court with the timeout. Oh, no, they won't. They didn't get it inbounded first. So Eldon will have to go fast. You launch the first three you can get. I guess you don't have to if you have a lane to the basket, but first look you can get. If it goes, you foul immediately.
I love that Coach Caudell is still coaching hard. Like, there's still 8 minutes left on the clock.
But you want to talk about improvement. This Eldon team got beat by California at the Tipton tournament by 20-something. This Warsaw team lost to California by 1. And Eldon has given Warsaw everything they could handle and more, and you got to believe if the foul trouble wasn't what it was, there is a chance this game likely would be different. I know you could say that about any game, but, I mean, Eldon has improved vastly.
They've improved just from the start of this game. I think they've seen with these foul calls, that teaches you to be more disciplined, knowing that we're about through our bench. We don't have anyone else to look back to for us.
Eldon going to have to go the length of the floor and get a shot quick. 8.8 to play, down by 4, 63-59 in this overtime period. Zach Holda inbounds. Gets it to Talon on the run. Talon middle of the floor, 7 seconds to go. Mustangs got to get a quick look. Hardy makes space, fires the three off the iron, wouldn't go. Talon's going to launch one from the top of the key, hits it as the buzzer expires. So the Mustangs wind up falling 63-62 to the Wildcats in quite the battle. We'll come back with your post-game show in just a moment. You're listening to KS-95 Sports.
Aye, Captain! The seas of the Ozarks are too rough! Me and crew can't secure the screens and railings! She'll never be installed right! She ain't sturdy, Captain!
Rest assured, you'll see calmer seas this winter. And have American Sun Control secure powder-coated railings and screens for shade, too. While the lake is calm this winter, let American Sun Control install your dock and deck screens and railings. Come in, call, and look them up online and Facebook. American Sun Control.
Since 1944, Carpenter Gunther Lumber Company, Morgan County's only locally owned lumber yard, has been providing the area with quality building materials needed for its building, remodeling, and repair projects. Because customer care is Carpenter Gunther's #1 goal, your project is always their priority. They take as much pride in your project as you do. Reach them at 378-4433 Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4:30, and 8 to noon on Saturday. Carpenter Gunther, where they put the home in hometown business.
Have you ever gone into panic mode because you reach into your wallet and your debit card is not there? Hi, this is Ryan Pryor from Citizens Bank of Eldon and Versailles. With the Umbrella app on your mobile phone, you can block your debit card with a quick tap of a button. 5 minutes later, you remember that it's in your pocket. No problem. Just go back in and unblock your card, and now it's business as usual. Ask us how you can enroll. Member FDIC.
A hometown bank, a hometown friend.
The Morgan County Health Center in Versailles reminds you can help your child have a healthy future. Encourage them to get 1 hour or more of physical activity every day and limit screen time to 2 hours at most. Time spent in front of a screen watching TV or playing video games means less time being active. Make sure they get 3 servings of low or no-fat milk or yogurt every day, 4 servings of water, not sugary drinks, and 5 servings or more of fruit and vegetables. Healthy habits lead to a healthy future. A message from the Morgan County Health Center in Versailles.
A full-service graphics company, Wright Printing and Promotional Advertising does it all, from screen printing, offset printing, and promotional advertising to custom-built trophies and awards. It's where they do it the right way. Check out their Facebook page for their monthly special, and don't forget they offer online stores for all your group and activities needs. Wright Printing and Promotional Advertising, across from the Family Center on Highway 52 East in Versailles. Call 573-378-5775.
Sold out crowd at Remax Arena at Lake of the Ozarks, and Winter Shelton's got 5 seconds left to win this deal. Can they pull it off? Inbound passes to Shelton at the top of the key. They try to double team him. Shelton crosses over the competition with some razzle-dazzle. 2, 1, he shoots the game winner, and it's Winter Shelton for the win! Shelton is crushing it. When buying a home or real estate, put the ball in Winter Shelton's hands for the game winner. Winter Shelton's crushing it, yeah.
We're back with the Bank of Versailles post-game show here at Warsaw High School as Eldon comes up just a smidge short, 63-62 in overtime. I'm joined now by the head coach of the Eldon Mustangs, Nathaniel Caudell. Coach Caudell, How'd you feel about your team's performance here this evening?
I'm so proud of them, man. Really proud of the grit that we showed. Started last week at Sullivan. We've had a really tough week. Lost one of our captains to a pretty devastating injury. So proud of the way the guys rallied around him, and then came out here and rallied together in some really adverse situations, just things not going our way. And, I can say, in my time here, that's been one of the things that we've been really trying to battle and get over is when, again, life, things are not going to go your way. You can't just, put your head down. And really proud of our guys. They never did. When we were wanting to, we had guys that, if one guy got their head down, right? Because it happens within a game. Other guys were there to pick him up. And so seeing our culture and building what we're building, that's exciting. This is a fun atmosphere. It's one of those, if you don't get excited about those types of games, I don't know, man. You just can't watch any more basketball. But really fun game, really proud of the way that our guys competed. We got a lot better, too. And that's the thing. We did a lot of really good things. I thought they played extremely well. They shot the ball the best they've shot all year. You get number 3 there it's not like that he was wide open whenever he was hitting shots there in that first half. Taking really tough shots. Number 24 is a heck of a player. The Jim's kid, he is a heck of a player. He's a really, really good player. And so, obviously he got going a little bit, but really proud of our guys. It was a really fun game.
One thing that really stood out to me was you were able to go to your bench and not just get quality minutes. Your bench seemed to really step up for you because foul trouble kind of puts you in that predicament early. Talk about some of those guys. It's almost a different mindset when you're not one of the starting 5 to be able to enter the game instant. I think at one point Zach Hull subbed in and just buried a 3 like it was nothing.
He's a shooter. This week he had 2 green light drills, right? And so whenever he checked in the game, I said, shoot with confidence, bud. Just shoot it. And he gets his opportunity and he does, right? And so seeing him take those minutes and do something with it, that's what you want to see as a coach, right? Seeing guys that, haven't got those opportunities yet, and whenever they get them, they do something with it, right? Yep. And you're seeing them grow right in front of your eyes. And so we saw a lot of that today. Mason Jerking had to play a huge role for us, and so seeing him come in and do that was huge. Kyle Hines, played a really, really tough game. He's definitely one of our emotional leaders. And so sometimes we got to get him to settle down just a little bit. But we need that though. We need guys like that are going to, just bring energy. And so proud of him for doing that for our guys and igniting. There in that second half, he ignited it, right? He got us going there in the second half. Couple of big buckets that he had. And then defensively and rebounding, he always does a great job with that. So, again, I could go down the line almost every single guy here and tell you about all the things that I saw. But, again, like we said, seeing that from guys that, so far this year maybe haven't had as big of a role and being there when we needed them to step up, that's really big.
I know your goal at the beginning of every season is already looking at the postseason. You want to make sure your boys are ready to go in their best form by the time you hit district play. And I can tell just in the short season already the strides you've made. And part of that would be, you guys fell to California by 20-something. Well, this team played California to a 1-point game, and you just gave Warsaw everything they could handle. How do you feel about the growth of your team in the short start to the season already?
Again, this is the group that I am. My 4 years here, it's crazy because, you think of how much success we had last year at the start of the season. But I actually feel more confident with this group. I know the wins haven't came yet, but I feel more confident where we are as a team with this group than even I did last year because we're seeing things start to piece together, right? You're seeing, like we just talked about, the growth of all these guys. The biggest thing is I'm seeing them grow together, right? And we're playing team basketball. It's not a one-man show. Everybody's looking for their ways to contribute. And I think that's the most dangerous team, you know? And so we got a long way to go. There's a lot of things that we've got to fix. There's a lot of things offensively that we got to be able to do to start scoring better. Because sometimes, right, I thought we played really good defense, but they just had really good offense tonight. They hit some really tough shots. There's got to be, we got to do some things offensively that we start executing at a little bit higher level. But that's going to come with the season, right? And, a lot of our guys, we talked about this is their first year of varsity basketball. Some of these guys have had some experience, but some of these guys that we just mentioned, right, they haven't had a lot of experience at varsity basketball. So, they're it's kind of a crash course for them. They're learning on the fly, and I'm really proud of what they're doing. And, again, we just got to keep working, keep positive. I've said the whole year I just want a growth mindset, right? Every day I just want to see us how that we're getting better. And I can honestly say that I feel like that we are doing that every game. We're learning from things. Guys are taking it in the right way, taking coaching in the right way. And again, that's what makes this a lot of fun.
Well, the growth is obvious. I mean, you guys are looking better each and every week. What do you guys have coming up?
So we go to 12 Courts of Christmas on the 30th and get to go and play there in the Hy-Vee Center. So that's going to be a fun one. And so we go play Oak Grove. That'll be somebody different, right? Somebody a little bit different that we don't really get to play against a lot. So I like that. Kind of a little bit different game, a little bit different atmosphere. Have a fun time over break, getting ready for that and being ready to go to that. And then we got to, we start off the year with a really tough conference game. The conference champs come back on the 3rd to our place for Boonville, last year's conference champs. And so we'll get to play them, and then we get Stratford, right, the next week. So we got some really tough games coming up. And I'm looking forward to those to see how we are measuring up and continuing to grow. Because ultimately that's all that we're looking for. Obviously you want to win every game, but I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't be more proud of this one. I know it goes as an L in the column, but I'm really proud of our guys. I felt like we got a lot better, and that's just what we're going to be focused on.
Well, Coach, I know it didn't necessarily end the way you wanted, but it was a great performance by your squad. It's always a pleasure getting to see your boys play ball, and I think we'll actually be up at the 12 Courts of Christmas with you guys, so look forward to that. But since I won't see you before, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas.
You guys too. Thank you so much for all your guys' coverage, and we look forward to seeing you on the 30th.
All right, thank you very much. That is Coach Caudell. His squad comes up just a little bit short, but still a great showing by the Mustangs tonight. We'll get Britt hooked back up here, I believe. Britt, were you able to keep the scoring during the game too?
Yeah, I absolutely was.
What did it look like?
For Talon, he had 4. Devin Hardy had 13. A big standout, Britton had 18, despite fouling out. Rhett had 1. Mason Deerking had 2. Zach Cole had a big 3 there in the end. Cody Tam had 12. Kyle Hines had a great third quarter. He had 9 that quarter. And that ended up your inning score of 62.
Well, Britt, I loved listening what Coach Caudell had to say. He kind of actually said something very similar to you. Of course, he wanted to get the W tonight, but he talked about the growth of his kids and just being able to fight through everything and how much he feels like they are getting better each and every week. And, I mean, you've got to see the Mustangs as much as I have this year. I think we can both agree every time we see them, they look a little bit scarier.
Exactly. And it's not just skill-wise, their body language maybe
they're figuring each other out.
The confidence of the team together, maybe not in individuals, but the confidence as a team is definitely growing.
And that's the scariest thing. Like the early games, not trying to single anybody out, but it looked like, Britton Hayhart's going to be able to score, but who can score with him? And now it's like guys are learning how to move without the ball, how to complement each other's game. And so suddenly, you see moves where it's like, oh, Hayhart on the drive and Cody Tam's cutting back door knowing the Britton's going to find him, or Devin Hardy when he penetrates is looking for the weak side for Deerking off the short corner and things like that. They're starting to gel, I think is the word.
Absolutely.
I'm looking for.
That team chemistry is definitely growing each game, and I would even say each practice. So it's something definitely to look forward to, and I'm excited to see them the rest of the season because, like you said, each time they step on the court, they are 10 times better than they were the game before.
Normally we do a Shed Batting Cage player of the game or play of the game. I'm going to throw a little wild card at you here. I want to just say the players of the game go to the Eldon bench, because when Coach Caudell had to go to his bench tonight, not only did they show up in a big way and did not miss a beat.
They showed up and showed out. There was 3 huge points for Zach Hole, I believe is his name.
Oh, yeah, sniper.
And that came out of nowhere. As a bench player, that might be a little intimidating.
Coach Caudell talked about that. They do a green light shooting drill, and he said Zach Hole yesterday in that drill aced it. He got the green light. He shot a high enough percentage on 3, and Coach told him he had the green light. And he said when he checked into that game, the kid didn't hesitate. He pulled the 3 and buried it when they needed. That's taking practice minutes and making them count in the game.
Absolutely. You play how you practice, and seeing that transfer over into a game that's going to be so rewarding, not only for Coach Caudell, but even his teammates, you see Britton and Cody, you know, they're older, and seeing these younger kids come in and, you know, something's starting to click, that's got to make you feel good because, you know, you're their role model at this point. Like, you are who they are looking up to, and seeing that, you know, you just got to feel good. You got to know good things are coming, and patience is key, and just keep practicing hard.
100%. So it was great showing by the Mustangs. They come up just a bit short in overtime as they fall 63-62. We're going to go ahead and put a wrap on things for this one. A big thanks to Mark back at the studio engineering tonight's contest. And, of course, Britt joining me on the game. We'll be back with more games after Christmas break, but a Merry Christmas to all of you. If you don't listen during the day, this is all that you heard. Otherwise, I'll talk to you on Monday. Special thanks. This has been